Hi everyone, this is CY once again. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm just going to play with the DF64V more, and in particular use it for espresso. And I'm going to use it coupled with a very unique machine which I've gotten recently, right, through a very good friend. And this is very exciting because as everyone knows, I love collecting vintage machines. So far, I've only collected a few La Pavonis, one La Papena, one vintage Electra, and one vintage Faema. And then today, I just got my second Faema, which is the Faemina spring lever espresso machines, and I'm very excited. And this is the first time of me using it. And of course, I'm doing this in my shop, in my cafe in Singapore. Right, and we welcome you to join us at my cafe, right, to have a cup of coffee. We are located at 32 Seah Street, right, right at the back of Raffles Hotel. So whenever you are nearby the city, right, just drop by, and then we can have a good cup of coffee over here. Right, so without further ado, let's see how the grinder is, and then let me try to dial in the machines and try to pull good shots from the Faemina. Right, first of all, let me show you the machines. Of course, the star of today is this grinder over here. Right, this is the DF64V variable speed brushless motor single dose flat burr grinder. Right, and right next to it is actually the Faemina. So I just simply fall in love with all the vintage machines, and I think the filter basket size is 49. Hence, therefore, you can see that I'm using. Sorry, the focusing is not very good. I'm using actually my La Pavoni temper, 49 mm, and then I'm going to use a puck screen for that as well. Right, and of course today I'm still going to use my Yunnan red wine, and as everyone knows, this is my favorite coffee bean, and it's also our best seller in our cafe. Right, so without further ado, let's see how we actually dial in the machines, and it's going to be fun. Right, so at the moment, before I actually record the video, I've used a grind size of 15 on the DF64V, and apparently this is choking my machine, so I'm going to increase the grind size to about 20. Right now my Faemina is actually switched off, so I'm going to switch it on so that it will heat up to the temperature. I do not have any sticker or thermal sticker to know what temperature is actually heating up to, so I'll wait for the steam to start to come out from the valve here, and then I'll switch off the power and wait for a couple of minutes or maybe a minute or so for the temperature to cool down slightly right before I actually pull a shot. Right, so at the moment the grind size is at 20. I'm going to use about 14 grams of coffee. And another amazing thing about the DF64V is low retention. Right, so I'm going to show you, right, the retention it has. So let's grind about 14 grams. Right, 13.9. Can you hear the hissing, which means that the temperature is already up? So I'm just going to power it off and then let it cool down. While I let it cool down, I'm just going to grind the coffee beans. The sitting of the bellow is not very secure, so it tends to drop if you actually knock it over, but it has sort of a grip onto the anti-popcorn device. So okay, let's grind some coffee. Right now my RPM is actually 700. Sometimes it will stall a little bit at the start. Bellow. Right, once the grinding is finished, you can't even hear the motor because it's a very small motor. right? So let's see the retention. 13.8. So there's about 0.2 grams, 0.1 to 0.2 grams of retention. Let me try to bellow a bit more. Right? 13.9. So the retention is about 0.1 gram, which has been very low in my opinion for the DF64 series cow grinder. So it is pretty good, right? And the dosing cup is actually less than 58 mm. So for my machine portafilter, which is 49 mm in diameter, it may not be able to fit directly, but I'm able to pour, right, the coffee in. Oops. Right, you can see I'm spilling the coffee all over the place. Right, so sorry about it, which means I have to regrind the coffee again. Right. So let me do this again. Accident does happen, right? I don't usually script my video. Neither do I plan. No, I do some planning of what I want to do, but then I don't usually just cut the video off where I make mistakes. So I just want to show that this can happen, anytime, right? In the process of making coffee. This is just normal. Right, you can see that it doesn't fit directly. So this is the annoying part, right? It fits into the 58 mm portafilter, and it is a bit too small, and now it is a bit too big for this. Anyway, this is not designed for that, so I shouldn't be complaining about this. So let me empty this away, and then I'll grind another 14 grams, and then let's try again. All right, let's measure another 14 grams of coffee. Okay, as 14.1 grams. Okay, I think should be fine. Okay, for this time, I will try to move my weighing scale directly below and see whether it fits. Yep, it does fit nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour it inside and then grind directly. Even though there's a gap, I think the coffee should have no problem entering this. Okay, before bellowing, it gives me about 13.3. Right after bellow, it give me about 13.6. So there's about 0.3 to 0.4 grams of retention. Right, very soon I'll be opening up this grinder to check the situation behind the chute. Right, so nonetheless, let's try to dose the coffee inside and then see how it goes. All right. Okay, I do not have my WDT tool with me, so I'm just going to tamp. Right, and then put my part screen on, and then let's try to pull a shot. Okay, let's try. Okay, I'm just waiting for the first drop. Okay, I can see that the first drop is start to ooze out from the side. And we're going to release the lever. Okay, probably quite a bit of channeling. Alright, so let's try it one more time, and this time I'm going to grind a slightly coarser and see whether we can get a better extractions. But before that, let's try the coffee, right? Right, there's not much crema, but the smell is very intense. Yeah, the acidity is very high. Yep, let's try it one more time. Right, so for this time, I'm going to adjust to maybe 20. Okay, let me do some rinsing of the espresso glass. Right, so same thing, let's weigh about 14 grams of coffee. $14.1. Right, this is a light medium roast, so naturally the crema is slightly lesser as compared to the medium dark roast. So you can see that the hopper tends to drop out quite often. So this is one of the downside of the DF64V, in my opinion, in terms of usability. So 14.1 gram, and I will still be putting this on so that most of the coffee will actually go inside the container. Right, the part is pretty dry, but I can see that probably not very well distributed. Right, the grind size is definitely too fine because I can feel that the bottom of the portafilter, the coffee ground is still a little bit dry, which means that the water did not reach all the way to the bottom. So of course the extractions is uneven, and hence the acidic shots. Right, let me just rinse quickly. You can see how much water there is. Right, so I didn't even know that my grinder is still on. Right, I can hear the hissing sound. Switch it off. 14.3, 14.3, 14.2. That means the 0.2 gram is actually coming out from here. Okay, let's wipe down. All right, so let's try one more time. I have to use my finger to sort of distribute the coffee, right, so that at least this is more even. And let's try to temp it. Right, nice and flat. All right, let's lock up the portafilter. Let's try one more time. Right, I would say that this extraction is better, but let us taste the coffee, right? The acidity has gone down, but it is still acidic, which means that there's still some channeling around. So I'm going to try one more time, right? Just to try to dial in the grinder with the Faemina to see whether I can get an even better extraction. But this will be the last time, so I won't be occupying too much of your time. And I hope that you have enjoyed dialing coffee with me, right? On this vintage Faemina. So let's do this for the last time for the night. $14 grams as usual. $14.1, that's fair enough. Let's increase the grind size to 25. Right, the grinding is pretty fast, even at it's actually at the 1600 RPM. It's close to the maximum. Spellow. Alright, switch off. 14.1, so I'm getting quite close to the zero retention. Right, let's I probably need to get my dosing funnel out. Alright, let's temp it. Okay, nicely tempted. Nicely tamped. Alright, let's bring you closer. Okay. Okay, not too bad. Right, extractions is much better than the previous two attempts. So let's try the coffee. Right, so as you can see, there's crema, and it's a much better extraction as compared to the previous two. Wow, the acidity has gone down. This is a very tasty shot. Still slightly acidic in my opinion, but the acidity has gone down tremendously and the sweetness level has increased. So I think this is the last shot for me tonight, and I hope you have enjoyed dialing in the Faemina with the DF64V with me. Right, so this is CY once again. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I hope I can bring you more content and do more videos whenever I can. And do remember to subscribe to my channels, like my videos, and share to your friends who are fellow coffee addicts like me, especially the antique addiction, right? This is really, right? I will continue to search for a machine that's like that, and if I can afford it, I will try my best to get them. Yeah, but I'm very happy for all the collection that I have, and when I have time, I'll bring them out one by one and then play with them and make more video contents on it, right? So thank you for joining me today, and see you very soon, and have a good night.